I worked as a cocktail server when I was 22. My shift was from 5 p.m. until 2 a.m. As a waitress, I had become accustomed to being bothered by customers. Usually, it wasn't anything too outrageous or scary. Most of the patrons were regulars who flirted harmlessly, just playful banter, nothing threatening or sinister. Up until this particular night, I had never felt a sense of danger from any of the customers I had served. But that night, everything changed. I was being harassed by a creepy man I'd never seen before. He said such inappropriate things to me that it really unsettled me. He was relentless with his unpleasant remarks. At one point, while I was serving him his drink, he reached out and touched me inappropriately. After that, I never went back to his table. If he wanted another drink, he would have to go up to the bar and ask the bartender. I was done dealing with this sinister creep. This was back in 1978, a time when there was little recourse for situations like this. The bartender would only ask customers to leave when they were too drunk to sit at a bar stool or booth. Otherwise, we had to handle troublesome customers ourselves. At closing time, the man finally left, but I still felt uneasy. I wasn't easily spooked, but something about him made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. It took me almost an hour after closing to finish cleaning and get the bar ready for the next day. So, around 3 a.m., I made my way through the dark parking lot to my car. The lot was in a deserted area, surrounded by woods, which made it even creepier. As I was about halfway to my car, I saw him out of the corner of my eye. My heart began to race when I realized he had waited for me to come out. I knew I had to get to my car fast, or who knows what he might do to me. I was young and fit, while he was in his late 40s and overweight. My mind quickly ran through all the possibilities, and I feared I could be kidnapped or worse. I knew I had to make a run for it. I sprinted toward my car, jumped inside, and locked the door just in time. He was at my driver's side window demanding that I roll it down. He kept shouting that he didn't want to hurt me, that he only wanted to talk. Then he began pounding on the window as I fumbled with my keys, trying to get the car started. I feared he might smash the window and grab me. Finally, I started the car, put it into reverse, and began backing out. He screamed at me, yelling that I had run over his foot. My gut told me that he was faking the injury to get me out of the car. I wasn't going to fall for that. I drove home as quickly as I could, and once I was safely inside, I called the police. They came to take my report and get a description of the man. At that point, I wasn't sure if I had actually injured him. The police sent another officer to the parking lot to check if he was still there and injured, but he was gone. No one had called to report a hit and run. The police said I'd done the right thing by not falling for his trick. The next day, I called my boss and told him I wouldn't be coming back to work. I'd never been so scared before. It was a night when I truly feared for my life. I couldn't bring myself to go back. That night still haunts my dreams. This happened a few months ago. I was driving home from work at 2 a.m. I'm a nurse and I live in a small town. The streets were completely empty and it was freezing cold. I don't live far from my workplace, just a couple of miles. I was driving down a residential street, just around the corner from my house, when I saw a man lying face down in the road. Now, being a nurse, my first thought was, I need to help this guy. After a long shift, I knew falls happen all the time. As I slowed down, I suddenly realized what a bad idea that was. I'm only 100 pounds and didn't have any weapons on me. I thought I should still do something to help, so I called 911 while I drove past him, slowing down at the end of the block. While I was stopped at the light, explaining to the dispatcher, I heard a loud bang on my driver's side window. I screamed and looked over. A man was pounding on the window trying to open the locked door. When I looked in the rearview mirror, the man wasn't lying on the street anymore. I was still on the phone with 911 and I screamed, "I'm so scared," and floored it through the red light. I quickly told the dispatcher what happened, and even though I was close to my house, he told me to keep driving. After a few minutes, I calmed down and he told me to loop back around. I pulled over a little farther down the road, staying in the car. I didn't see the man anymore, so I got off the phone with the dispatcher. He said he would send a police car to check the area. As I was scanning the surroundings, I saw the man walking with 2 other men. I ducked low in the car until they were far down the road, then rushed into my house. I'm not sure what the men's intentions were, but it scared me that he wasn't alone. Always lock your car doors and carry mace. It started raining here, so I took my 14-year-old son out mushroom hunting over the weekend. It was later than usual, and the sun sets earlier. We were taking a short trail to the river and back, hoping to find some turkey mushrooms or chanterelles. We took a wrong turn and ended up walking through a big field, wishing the trail would loop back around to the main trail. As we walked toward the main trail, the last group of people had already left, and it was just me and my son. We were almost alone when this strange man appeared from a side trail with a dog by his side. The dog was alert and sitting close to him as he stared at us. When we got closer, he started waving a slow, awkward wave. I immediately felt uncomfortable, but didn't want to be rude, so I half-heartedly waved back, telling my son to slow down. I didn't want to meet him at the junction. After about a minute, the man turned slowly and walked toward the main trail. I thought maybe he was waiting for us around the corner, and sure enough, he was standing there at the junction near the parking lot, staring at us. To the right was a 0.6-mile trail to the river. He didn't move at all, just kept staring. I was getting nervous and planned to keep wide to the right, hoping we could run faster than him if needed. As we walked closer, I asked if he was okay, but he just kept staring. He had greasy hair, tiny round glasses, a blue windbreaker, and plaid shorts. He didn't respond at all. I kept watching him with my phone camera, and every time I glanced back, he had shifted his gaze, never breaking his stare. We finally turned right and walked a little farther, staying aware. It felt very unsettling, especially with his lack of response and the eerie stare. He wasn't there when we came back, but I still couldn't shake the feeling. When I was 13 years old, on vacation with my parents in Turkey, we were staying at an all-inclusive hotel. The hotel was full of tourists from different countries. There was this guy, about 20 years old, who kept staring at me. It made me feel uneasy, so I asked him how he was doing, but that was a mistake. Over the next few days, he appeared everywhere I went, not flirting, just lurking and watching me for hours. He had a strange vibe, and I felt like I shouldn't be alone with him. One evening, I got bored with the hotel entertainment and told my parents I was going to my room and would see them in the morning. As I walked to the elevator, I didn't realize that the guy had followed me. When I saw him, my heart dropped. He was standing there with a sinister smile. Just before the elevator doors closed, someone stuck a boot between them, keeping the doors from closing. It was my dad. He had seen the creepy guy leaving at the same time I did and didn't have to trust him. He looked the man in the eye and said hello. My dad took me to my hotel room, and I'm so glad he rescued me. I don't want to imagine what might have happened if he hadn't.